coaching businesses are supposed to be the most scalable business model there is. But once people start, they find out that there's limits to that. You get a certain number of clients and you have to hire people to coach them, or you get to a certain number of clients and you don't have as much bandwidth available to your current clients as you did before because scale. And in 2025, there's a much smarter way to think about this, and that's by not selling coaching at all, but understanding that coaching is a modality that you can put together with other things. So there's something I give to clients called the solo stack, and this is about scale. Bear with me in terms of my writing. The least scalable thing for a solo operator is services, right? So that sits at the top. The least scalable thing about services is that you have to do things for clients. And even in the age of AI, client delivery and those things take up a ton of time. So services will always sit at the top of the scalability triangle because they're the least scalable one. The next least scalable is actually coaching, because coaching is helping people extract things from themselves that they currently already possess. That needs time, that needs attention, that needs care. And a lot of people have found this with coaching businesses is that when they start scaling, which is getting more clients, making more money, etc., that they actually end up kind of being able to care less about their clients, and there's an upper limit to that. For me, I can coach concurrently about 24 people at any given time. Those people have direct access to me, they have private access to me where like actual real coaching happens, and that's kind of my upper limit to be able to scale the things that I need to scale to make sure that they've got the time, the care and attention from me that I can actually dedicate without being compromised. The next least, I'm going from like least to most is consulting, telling people what to do because it requires a level of customization. And the next one is mentorship. Mentorship is much more scalable than either coaching or consulting because mentorship relies on the fact that you have already done something and you're essentially showing people what you have done or how you do something. So mentorship is, another way of looking at it is more look over your shoulder. I do a lot of mentorship because I've grown my business solo to millions of dollars in profit, and I let other people look over my shoulder and give them the tools that I use and I've used to actually get the same results. So that's really scalable because essentially it's just replication, of philosophy, of principles, and ultimately of strategy. So it's very, very scalable and often much more scalable than coaching. The next one down is membership. I have a membership. It's $50 a week where people get access to all my trainings, workshops. They get access to a community, everything. And it's super scalable because I can have an unlimited number of members really, and then, at a certain level, they actually start interacting with each other and giving a ton of value. And the access to me is limited because they're just watching replays, they're coming to live events, they're coming to scheduled things. So it's extremely scalable. And, we've got this kind of, it's not a new category, but I'm going to put AI there because we've got kind of tools. And so when you see all these things that you can do with people, as modalities, you've got a lot more, flexibility. And part of, what I give and run myself and again give to clients in the hybrid offer is that you can convert all of these things into offers, right? I have 3 tiers of offer, which, at the top tier, people get services, it's the most expensive. People get services, they get coaching, they can get consulting, they can get mentorship when they need it, they have access to all my trainings, membership, community, all the tools, etc. So that is like the, if you like, the all you can eat, it's the fastest route and subsequently it's the most expensive. If people just want the mentorship pieces, with the option of coaching or consulting on the side, then it's much more affordable. And if people just want a membership as well. This means that we can have one offer. And, to round out that looking at these modalities, it's important that offer has the same outcomes. For me, I help people make a 1 million profit business, and in 2 days a week or less. With 65 clients or less, you can get to $1 million. The outcome of tier 1, 2, and 3 is exactly the same. how fast people want to go, how much access they have to me, and how many financial resources they have, as ultimately dictates, which level they choose. And people also can move between them. For periods of time, some of your clients might need intensive coaching, but then they can go back to a membership level where they can have access to trainings and access to implementation, but they don't need the intensive coaching. So subsequently, why do they need to pay for it? So it offers a lot of flexibility in terms of guiding people towards results. It's much more efficient because you can actually have a singular offer that that you can essentially sell at multiple levels across the whole market. And it also really, really clearly makes distinctions and boundaries between the things that you do. It's important to me when people sign up that I'm very clear about the relationship. That if someone is signing up for coaching, I'm your coach, and therefore that defines the relationship and expectations. If they're just signing up for a membership, then they just get access to certain things. They don't get much of me really at all, and the expectations are clear. And ultimately the happiness and the satisfaction of clients isn't just results, it's meeting the expectations of the things you sell and provide to them. So seeing these things as, seeing the Solo stack as a scalability stack, seeing the different things as modalities, gives you a lot of options, gives you a lot of scalability, gives you a much more powerful offer you can actually make it at multiple price points while not getting complex in their delivery, because everything is very, very clear. There's a lot of ways you can dig into this, but this is an introduction, and it will definitely help you, unpack some pieces of your current offer and actually make it truly more scalable for the world that we are in now.